Hey everyone, it's Gareth Hughes here, and today I want to talk to you about getting the most from your team, something that most business owners I speak to have a problem with. So you're going to listen to some music, I'm going to figure out what to say, and see you back here in a second. Look, working in teams is great, but what it all comes down to for me is the identity iceberg, how someone is made up and how they interact with that team. So what I want to talk to you about is the identity iceberg. So what is it? Essentially, it's a concept. And if you imagine an iceberg floating out at sea, you've got a bit that you can see and then a whole mass underneath that you can't see. And we assign different values to those parts. So the parts above the water, these are the bits that you can see. These are the results somebody has. These are the decisions that they make, the behaviors that they have, or the actions that they might take. And everybody can see it, and it's out there, and people base their opinions and their judgments on what they see above the water. But what they might not see is what's below the waterline and what's made up there. So, for instance, we have somebody's skills. Can you influence somebody's skills, or can you improve somebody's skills? Yeah, of course you can. You can get them to take a course, or you can invest in training with them, or you can invest some time with them. And sure enough, their skills will get better. So that's great. We've got a good set of skills, and we know how we can influence that. What sits below that? That would be someone's beliefs. Again, can you change someone's beliefs, or can someone change their beliefs? Yeah, absolutely. It's a little bit harder to do than skills. You might need to invest a bit more time. They might need more evidence and things like that. But sure, you can change someone's beliefs over time. It gets a little bit harder, but that doesn't mean to say that you can't do it. So finding out what sits in somebody's beliefs is really important. Do they believe in actually what they're doing? Are they a believer in the cause that you're working towards, the vision that you're working towards? Or is it not something that they buy into? So that all has an impact on how they interact with the rest of the team. What's below that is somebody's values. So values are really important, and they're formed really early on in someone's life. So the general consensus is between the ages of 0 and 7, you will form the values that stay with you for the rest of your life. That doesn't mean to say that those values are cemented. They can change. It takes a catastrophic life event in order for that to happen though. So somebody's close relative dying, or a marriage breakup, or something like that might have an effect on their values. But again, as you go down the iceberg, it gets harder and harder to influence these things. What's sitting at the real bottom of the identity iceberg is someone's identity, so who they are as a person. And I would say this is who they are when nobody's looking, when they're sat by themselves without any outside influences, without the rest of the world influencing them. So going down the levels of the identity iceberg, being able to identify each one for each person, where they sit, and what kind of belief system they have, what values they have, what's their identity as a person, helps you to integrate them more into a team. Around the iceberg though, you've got a load of water. And I would say that's somebody's environment. What happens when an iceberg goes into water, just with 1 or 2 degree difference, it starts to melt. Okay, so changing someone's environment has a massive effect on their iceberg, on their identity. And this is for you as well. Be really protective of your environment, because 1 or 2 degree difference and the iceberg starts to melt, and the values change in each of those areas. So I hope you found that helpful. I'm going to be sticking with the team theme for a few more weeks. So comment below, let me know your thoughts, subscribe to my channel. It would be great to catch up soon.